My name is Elyse Wild, and you are listening to women's lifestyle magazine, Inspired Voices. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Inspired Voices. I hope you had a good week. It is Friday as I am recording this. The podcast that you are about to listen to was recorded a couple of weeks ago and features James Sofranko, who is the artistic director of the Grand Rapids Ballet, and Yuka Oba, who is one of the ballet's professional dancers. Now, the Grand Rapids Ballet is a really special part of our community. They are the only professional ballet in the state of Michigan, meaning all of the dancers are paid, and that's how they earn their living. And we wanted to shed some light on how the arts are coping with the implications of coronavirus. James and Yuka give us a lot of insight into how things have changed for them and things that we can do as a community to support them. I've grown up in Grand Rapids, and I talk about that a little bit in my conversation with James and Yuka. But I've really gotten to see the growth of this community. It is just so different even than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and certainly 20 years ago. One of the things that's been really cool to see, and part of that growth has been through the arts. And we have these wonderful, long-standing institutions in our community like the Grand Rapids Ballet, the Grand Rapids Symphony, and even St. Cecilia Music Center. And they've all been around for a little while, and all those organizations have worked really hard to create access to these classical art forms that might seem elitist or inaccessible. And I have to say, I was a first-time ballet audience member back in February for the Eternal Desire show, and I was really blown away by this great mix of classical and contemporary, and I was a little nervous because I just didn't really know what I was going to see, or I didn't know if I was going to be able to recognize. I just didn't know what the experience was going to be. It was my first time, besides going to the Nutcracker when I was a kid, and it was a really, really mind-blowing experience. It really charged me up and energized me and made me a fan of the ballet, and I look forward to when things turn to normal, whatever that looks like, re-engaging with that. So anyways, I hope you enjoy our conversation. It gives Yuka and James give a lot of insight into how their world has changed and what their hopes for the future are. I hope you enjoy the conversation. As always, I hope that you learn something, and I hope that if you are able to, you feel compelled to support the ballet so that our community can continue to enjoy them for many years to come. All right, welcome back to another episode of Inspired Voices. I'm very excited about today's episode because we are going to be bringing you guys a perspective of how COVID-19 is impacting the arts. And today we have with us Artistic Director of the Grand Rapids Ballet, James Sofranko, and Grand Rapids Ballet dancer, Yuka Soba Musciano. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So can you start by telling our listeners a little bit about yourselves, how you came to be involved with the Grand Rapids Ballet, which I would like to add, first off, is the only professional ballet company in the state of Michigan. It's a really wonderful thing that we have here in our community. We're very lucky.
Yeah, so I guess I can go first if that's okay. I am a dancer my whole life. I recently took this job. This is the end of my second season here as artistic director of Grand Rapids Ballet. I'm very proud to hold that position. And like you said, this important organization here, not only in Grand Rapids, but for the whole state of Michigan. I was a dancer for 18 years in the San Francisco Ballet. I grew up in Ohio. I went to school in New York at the Juilliard School, and then got a job dancing out in San Francisco. So I'd been there my whole career for the most part. Toured the world and danced with some of the best teachers and choreographers, and really just had a wonderful experience out there. And returning a little bit to my Midwest roots by coming back to Grand Rapids. My mom grew up in Michigan. I went to Interlochen as a kid, so I have a little bit of Michigan roots, but I'd never been to Grand Rapids. But I was really heartened by everything I saw here when I was interviewing for the job, which is, the arts community, like the symphony is amazing, the Grand Rapids Art Museum, the fact that we've got this art prize. There's a lot of great things about this community that made me really excited about what I could do with the ballet, which was always already very strong, but I did see a lot of potential for growth in the ballet, and especially since we are Michigan's only professional ballet company, there's a lot of room for us to, I think, become even more present in our community and awareness about who we are, and the fact that we have dancers coming from, like Yuka herself, coming from Japan, from Cuba, from all over the country to be a part of this wonderful organization and the repertoire that we bring. So in the past 2 years, I've learned a lot about Grand Rapids Ballet, about being an artistic director too, because that was, a step from being a dancer. But it does keep me in the art, which I'm very happy about. Once you're done being a dancer, you can't be a dancer forever. It's like being a professional athlete. You kind of have a time limit. So not everybody is as lucky to stay in this art form that you've been so passionate about your whole life. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, and I found a lot of pleasure in coaching the dancers and bringing them rep that I danced before, choreographing myself too. So it's all been really amazing.
Yeah, you came here to Grand Rapids at a really good time. Like I like you said, our arts community has been strong for a long time, but now I think, and I've grown up here, so I've been able to witness a lot of the growth. Now there's people in our community who are engaging with the arts who may not have otherwise. So the arts community continues to be strong, but it seems to be more accessible, and that's really exciting for me as someone who grew up here. And it seems like you came to Grand Rapids kind of right at that moment, and were able to put your energy into perpetuating that. And
yeah.
I have to say, I've done stories in the ballet before. I've interviewed you guys before. I know that you guys really strive to do, classical pieces combined with contemporary, and to comment on things that are going on today. And I saw Eternal Desire, the show you guys did in February, and as a complete ballet amateur audience member, it was so thrilling. It was so emotional. I was so, when I got home, I was just could not stop talking to my husband about all the different elements you guys had going on, what it felt like for me, what it looked like to me, because I don't necessarily have the vocabulary to say, oh, they're doing that move, they're doing that technique. To me, it just really translates the emotion. So to me, that was exciting as someone who's been in this community for a long time. I know the arts are really strong and they're becoming more accessible. And I felt, as someone first-time ballet audience member, I felt so welcomed and valued and appreciated in that audience for that show.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, of course we strive to be open to everyone, and that's one of the kind of preconceived notions that some people have about ballet, that you need to know about it to go enjoy it, and really you don't. In fact, I just read a quote from George Balanchine, one of the greatest choreographers and founder of New York City Ballet in the 50s. He said ballet's like baseball. You can go and enjoy it if you're a novice at baseball too, but once you start to learn about the game and learn the stats, it goes so deep. And you can do that with ballet too. The more you see it, the more you can enjoy it as well on many different levels. There's the pure physical level, there's just the music, just the way that bodies can execute these amazing things in space. But then you can get deeper, you can get into the levels of artistry and the musicality and the way that the choreographer has combined the steps to create a feeling or an atmosphere, and the set design, the costume design. There's just so many different ways to experience it. And I'm glad to hear you had such a great time.
I loved it. Yuka, tell us about yourself. Tell us about how you came to Grand Rapids, how you got into dancing.
Yes, I'm originally from Japan, Fukushima. I don't know if you know my city, but it's such a small city. But anyway, so I studied ballet there, and then I moved to England to study more from English National Ballet School. And then I did a bunch of auditions, and I got into Slovak National Theater, which is in Slovakia. And then I moved to here from there to join with the company Grand Rapids Ballet. And this is my 9th season. I think I just completed 9th season. So it's pretty long time I'm being here. Why I wanted to come here was I really love the repertoire that we do here. Like you guys just said, we do a bunch of different ballet, a bunch of different styles, like classical ballet to contemporary style. I personally love dancing whole different kinds of dance, like a different styles, and it's really challenging for dancers to do, yeah, like really different stuff. And I love those challenges. I love growing as a dancer, and so I saw like I can grow more here, and it's been like really fun. Like I love the city, I love the company, and it's been, yeah, it's been really wonderful. And James came to our company, and then things like changed like such a wonderful way, and I'm still feeling like growing every year, like every like repertory we do, like I feel so much growth in me, so I'm very excited to keep dancing.
Wow, that's really amazing. When I think that oftentimes we have these ideas that once we I quote unquote master something, then that's it. But it's really cool to hear you say that you love the company because it allows you to grow and to be challenged, and that's exciting. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes,
one of the, oh, sorry, go ahead, Yuka.
since our career is not that long, so I just, if you don't feel growth like in the same company, like if dancers study to like look for another company, because if you're not growing, then like you have to move on. But why I've been here so long is like I feel like growing every year, so that's amazing feeling.
So cool. I love that.
I was just going to say that I think that is a characteristic of most dancers. There are a lot of people who wish to become dancers in their life. There's a lot of students, to reference the professional athlete world as well. It's the same type of thing, but there's so few jobs compared to the number of people who want them. So the people who do make it are those people who continually strive to improve themselves. And we have a morning ballet class every day, and it's called class, even though Yuka is the consummate professional and has danced the top role. She still takes ballet class, and we call it that for a reason, because we are continually working on ourselves, and it's a way to improve our technique. The best principal dancers in San Francisco Ballet that I worked with, I admired them so much for their work ethic too. And how did they become so great? By constantly working to improve themselves. And there's kind of a fun thing about ballet. Like there's an ideal that is almost unattainable. You can always point your foot a little bit more, or you can always lift your leg a little bit higher, or you can do one more pirouette, or you can balance a little bit longer, have a straighter line. Like, so there's this while it's acknowledged it's pretty much impossible to be perfect all the time, you are always striving for that pinnacle. So that keeps us going as dancers. And those people who have that desire are the ones who end up making it and becoming the best.
Wow. So tell me, we just talked about, obviously I can tell by both of your faces and your voices how much you love what you do and how much you love the Grand Rapids Ballet Company. Tell me how it felt when the shutdown orders began to roll out and you realized that life would change drastically for you and for the company for the foreseeable future. That must have been really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, Yuka, do you want to say?
Sure. Yeah, I was really sad because we had such an exciting program coming up, and that was like one of my favorite ones that I wanted to perform like whole year. One of the ballet we are gonna perform, we already learned most of it too, so I was like really bummed about it. But also like little part of me already knew that might gonna happen, since like my dancer friends in different country all already experiencing this shutdown in their country too. So I was I was trying to be ready so I don't get like too shocked and too sad about it. But also I I think the most important things is saving our life and others too. So if you die, like we won't be able to do anything, no future. So I was pretty calm. Yeah, I was sad, but I was like very calm when shutdown happens, and I think our governor had like decision to make.
Yeah, Sorry, what?
I just said, how about you? Let's hear your perspective.
Yeah, well, it kind of came in a bit of in some waves. You know, we weren't sure how long it was going to happen. The dancers had a bit of a break after our previous program, and we originally said to them, well, let's like keep you on break for another week or two and then come back. But then, of course, the conditions got worse, and so we of course heeded the governor's message. It was the right thing to do, and we didn't really have any hard time making that decision, but yeah, it still was painful. Our junior company, actually, which is run by Attila Masloigo in our school, he had a performance of Aladdin that he had just choreographed for our students, and they were set to open like the night that we had to shut everything down. So that was really heartbreaking for the students, I know, and especially hard for Attila. I mean, we have plans to bring that back, just like we have plans to bring back A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is what Yuka was referring to. And we had learned a lot of that already in the fall, most of it. And so it's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to perform it. It's like all this buildup and no final presentation. But yeah, it's all for the best. I mean, I feel the most concerned, I guess, in a way, about the future of the organization, because yeah, we depend on those ticket sales, we depend on those dollars from the summer program at our school, we depend on the school tuition as well. So a lot of those things are in jeopardy right now, and of course the ticket sales didn't happen. And so what do we do as a company to kind of manage this storm? I'm confident we'll come on the other side of it, but what will it mean for our budget next year? To be honest, we've been really encouraged by a lot of the support we've seen from the community, from a lot of individuals who have stepped up and given us donations, and people are continuing to send in their season subscriptions for next year, which is also really beneficial to us in our cash flow at this time. We did have to make some hard decisions, like the dancers are on layoff now a little earlier than they would have been for the typical summer layoff. Some of our staff is on layoff as well. So we're kind of operating at a bare bones status right now. It's what we have to do to be ready to come back, though, in the fall, hopefully in the fall, to hit the ground running and to do our season next year. So it's, you know, it's mixed emotions for sure. You know, you're doing the right thing, but it's hard to pull that trigger, so to speak.
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling that in all different sectors. I mean, but again, you guys are unique. Your employees are dancers. You like you said, you depend on the cash flow from programming that is halted suddenly. Tell me what the ballet is doing to support the dancers and the staff right now. How are you guys all engaging with each other?
Well, we're checking in with the staff. We have, like I said, kind of a bare bones staff operating right now. But we are making sure that people are receiving their unemployment benefits from the state and the federal governments. Same with our dancers. We check in with our dancers. Our ballet master, Donnell Dryja, is conducting ballet classes for them, which is wonderful. And it's not the same as dancing in the studio, of course, but we're trying to keep them in shape the best they can in their living rooms. And just kind of showing them that we are working as hard as we can to bring the company back when it's time to bring them back, so that they do have a job to come back to.
How can people support and engage with the Grand Rapids Ballet now? You mentioned that some people are still buying their season subscriptions for next year. What other things can people do?
Well, joining our mailing list is a really good way to stay engaged with us and hear about things that we're doing. We're releasing archival videos of our past performances every week, just to our mailing list. So that's something fun and hopefully uplifting in these times for people to enjoy some artistry from our beautiful professional dancers here. Yes, buying a season subscription would be helpful for next year. We have a great season planned with a lot of amazing new works and classic works, contemporary works, a new production of Cinderella, some other contemporary works, a Broadway meets ballet program with the choreographer of Hamilton, who's choreographing a ballet for us.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so there's really a lot of amazing things, and I promise you won't be disappointed. But that season subscription really helps us sustain and helps us plan for the future, instead of kind of the up and down of program to program, how many people are going to come to this program. It's better when we have a kind of a steady view of what the future will be. So that helps us. But of course, philanthropy is a big part of our revenue stream. So those people who have the means, who believe in the ballet, who believe in what we do, they've been very helpful in stepping up and kind of showing their faith in us by giving us a donation. And we're very thankful, and we're recognizing those people in a major way. Yeah, I'd say about 60% of our revenue comes from ticket sales, but the other percent comes from giving. So we're very beholden to those people in a way. You know, we wouldn't exist without those donors and those foundations and those just wonderful people who love the ballet.
Yuka, tell me how you are engaging with dancing right now while we're in quarantine and you're stuck at home. I imagine this is a really big change for you from going from professional dancer, I imagine, dancing every day to now this.
Yes, it's so challenging because when we are at the studio, we have 6 hours of rehearsals every day. So my body is like used to like moving all the time. But now like we have to stay home, and I try to dance in my kitchen, my living room as much as I can, like outside, but still not enough. And I can't really move, enough to feel that I'm very satisfied. So it's very challenging for me. But also same time, like trying to tell myself that it's great time to like explore something else too, like the natures and cooking and all the other stuff you can do. And also I'm doing bunch of like pilates floor bar, which is like you don't need too much space. So I have so much time, so I can like focus on other stuff that I can't usually do because I had very busy schedule. Also, I try to watch more ballets, more pieces that I've never seen because there's a bunch of stuff available online right now. So I'm trying to take advantage of it. And yeah, I was like watching Abram Khan, like how do you say it? Is it
Akram Khan.
yeah, it's Giselle for first time. I was like sobbing, like, and that realized that made me think, oh my gosh, that's why I love doing this, and I love doing to other people too. Like, make people feel stuff that's like it's not like we're touching or we're talking like on stage, but the ballet made you feel something inside of you, like something special, or like you're trying to hold something really tight inside your heart. But the arts is like letting it like melt everything out and like allows me to like express outside when you're dancing, but also when you're watching ballet as well. So that's like another huge realizing, like something that's like, oh my gosh, ballet is so amazing moment. It's
Wow,
so funny because I've been doing this long time. I feel like it's been like too normal for me that, oh, I love ballet, that's why I'm doing. But yeah, that was like a huge realizing for me. So that was cool.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
We have another project that we've been actually a couple projects. One, our resident choreographer Penny Saunders was itching to create something, and she asked if she could work with the dancers. So the dancers have volunteered to work with her via Zoom and Skype and FaceTime and whatever. And she is creating a piece on them, not only with their images that they are filming themselves on in their homes outside or inside, but also with voices. So she's compiled voices from around the organization, from staff and teachers and students in the school and board members and volunteers and audience members, and she asked them questions, and we recorded ourselves answering a couple questions about our quarantine experience. And she's woven those words into a tapestry of a soundtrack. And then that will provide the soundtrack for this dance that she is creating with the dancers remotely. So
so cool. Wow.
Yeah, and we will be premiering this. We'll be offering a world premiere from our resident choreographer Penny Saunders, which I think is just kind of amazing that we're able to do that at all. And I don't know if I've heard of anybody else really offering that yet. So that will be a part of one of our virtual programs that will be coming up. We have one on the 15th of May and one on the 12th of June. So Penny's piece, which is untitled as of yet, will be premiered on that virtual program too on June 12th. So like it's been amazing to see the dancers kind of being creative in their homes too, to see our choreographer Penny being creative. Also, my wife Cindy and I are co-producing a short video as a thank you to the healthcare industry, the workers who are putting themselves out there in the front lines. And we asked the dancers again if they would be willing to volunteer themselves, and Yuka did graciously, and she went out to some lake somewhere. I don't know where she found a lake, but she's dancing in the grass by this beautiful lake. And we have a cellist from Esme String Quartet playing live on this video.
Oh, wow.
Live being meaning recorded, but he played it for us specifically for this video. And so we've compiled all the dancers together into this one video that's going to hopefully send a message of hope and encouragement out there to those frontline essential workers. So we've been trying to keep our artistic juices flowing and our creativity going, even though we're stuck at home or by a lake in Yuka's instance.
Those both sound like really beautiful projects. And what I think a lot of us are having a difficult time expressing what this experience is like. So I look so forward to seeing that. As I said at the top of our conversation, as a first-time audience member to a ballet when I was at Eternal Desire, I was so struck by how much I felt. So I really look forward to seeing what you and your wife have put together and what Penny has put together. That's going to be pretty incredible.
Yeah, the healthcare worker video should be out on social media next week. And like I said, Penny's video should be available June 12th as part of our virtual program number 2.
So given that, I think a lot of people are talking about when we return to normal, whatever normal looks like, whatever our new normal is, do you think that the pandemic will change the way that people engage with the arts and the position that the arts have within our communities long term?
I guess long term, meaning long enough that we don't have to social distance anymore. I think it may make people realize how much they do love the arts and how important the arts are to them. Kind of what Yuka was saying, like it's given her an opportunity to reflect on why she is a dancer and what she loves about being involved in this art form. And I think the audience will have a similar type of reaction too. Like, sure, there's all this great art available online, but it's still on a screen. The minute we can come back to being real live human beings in a space with each other and watching a live performance of these beautiful people doing this for you in the moment, it's a really special thing. And I think that won't be lost on people. And we tend to maybe take that for granted a little bit more. So now that we don't have it, we can realize how, I guess, special that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else either of you want to say about what's taking place in our community right now, or what your hopes for the future are?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you want to say something, Yuka?
Yeah. So I guess we might have to wait like really, really long time to get back to normal. And then I know that's not what everyone wants, but I think it will end soon. Nothing lasts forever. And I think it's important that, I don't know, it's like it's okay to feel not okay, you know? So that's why you can you can see the arts and like what I did at the day, like a little like a therapy, like cry or watch something fun and like make you laugh. And my hopes for future is of course getting back to normal, like nothing more, nothing less. But I hope we all remember this feeling that wanting to be back to just normal, not wanting more. Like,
yeah, I hope so too. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, because we always want something more. Like I personally, like, I always want more something, like, no matter what. Like, this, like, social distancing and everything, realized I have everything I need here. Like, I don't need too much. Like, I have my family, I have my house, I have my bed, I have my food I can eat. So I hope, like, everyone remembers this. Like, you have everything you got, like, around you. And so yeah, I hope everyone doesn't get too needy, I guess. And also remember how made you happy to see and feel. I don't know, like, when you see the sunshine, like, I get so happy because, like, sunshine has so much power. And, like, feel the wind and hearing the raindrops made me happy. And those, like, such a, like, little things, like, the nature can make you happy. And all the little things we get to experience this right now with having so much time. Or some people maybe don't have time, like James, you're so busy, but but if you get to experience this, then, like, appreciating all the little things, I hope everyone remembers those feelings when they go back to when they're back to normal life. Yeah. And your life is most important things. So that's I want to really let everyone knows. And it's very, very lucky to have one right now. And this is something, and also this is same for others too. Like, we have to respect everyone's lives. So yeah, that's all.
That was
Yeah,
such beautifully said, Yuka. Thank you.
yeah, I agree that that we should take pleasure in the small things right now. And then when we come back to it, the small things that we see, we're able to greet somebody face to face, and I think we'll take pleasure in that too. I mean, my hope for the future of the organization of the Grand Rapids Ballet is that we continue to be this strong presence in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, this place where people can come and feel proud of their city and feel proud of the accomplishments of our artists that are our resident artists that choose to live in Grand Rapids and be here and to be a part of this place. Um, I, I think we are an organization that serves the community, and at this time, we are a nonprofit organization too. So we have a mission to uplift the human spirit through the art of dance. So the best way that we can do that, even during this pandemic, is something that I hope we can achieve. And I hope people see that, and I hope we can continue to do that when this is over. And people recognize us as a place, as a safe place, as a place where we can all come together and kind of share a human experience around a piece of music or a piece of dance or the beautiful physicality of these dancers. So it's nice to enjoy those kind of simple concepts, but it does have a much greater implication in bonding us as a community. So that's my hope for Grand Rapids Ballet.
Thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys giving us some insight into what life is like for you right now, and how we can support the ballet. And I, for one, look so forward to being able to sit in that auditorium again and watch a performance.
Well, we look forward to having you there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
To stay in touch with us, please visit www.womenslifestyle.com and sign up for our newsletter. You can also listen to this podcast on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Women's Lifestyle, all one word. If you have any ideas for a podcast episode, or if you'd like to hear from someone we haven't interviewed yet, please reach out to me at elyse@womenslifestyle.com. That's Elyse at womenslifestyle.com. I hope you are all staying healthy and staying safe, and thank you so much for listening.